Hey yo, my name is Courtney Sloan and welcome to my YouTube channel. As you can tell by my background and my outfit, I obviously hate Disney. Now you might be thinking, who is this girl and why does she think that she knows so much about Disney? Well, this year, 2016, I had the privilege to be a part of the Disney College program from January until April. If you'd like to hear more about that, leave me a comment down below and I can answer questions specifically about the Disney College program. Since I was accepted into the program, I've had lots of friends and family message me, text me, and ask me a lot about Disney, and I knew that that would probably happen, but I don't think that I expected them or as many people to ask me questions. I would not say that I'm a Disney expert by any means, but I do think living in Orlando and spending most of your time in the Disney parks for 4 months really does give you a different outlook on Disney, and you do kind of walk away with a lot more knowledge and a lot more tips than you went in with. My number one tip is to get to the parks about 30 to 45 minutes before they actually open. Sometimes they'll open the park a little bit early just to give people some time to get in the park and to the rides. It just really depends. But if you get there right when the park opens, parking is going to be a nightmare because people are just going to be flooding in and you might not have that time to actually get to the ride with no line. The earlier you get there, the better chance you have of just riding more rides that get longer lines during the days, and you might even have the opportunity to ride some of your favorite rides in a row. My second biggest tip about coming to Disney World is you can bring your own food in. This means that you don't have to pay for park food. If you're staying there for a week or even just a couple of days, park food can get really expensive, especially if you're with a whole family of 4 or 5. Just me, myself, it was expensive eating there, so bring your own food if you can. You can bring, you know, a picnic lunch into the park and have that with your family. Also, something that goes along with that is water in Disney is always free. You can always go up to any like walk-up stand, quick service food place and ask for a cup of water and it's free. So never think that you have to pay for that bottle of water that costs $1 million. My third tip is about FastPasses. Now, the FastPass system in Disney has been updated recently. So you can pick, I think it's 1 FastPass at a time. I'm not exactly sure, so don't quote me on this. But if you get to your ride, say you have booked a FastPass for Tower of Terror, and you get to Tower of Terror and the standby line is only 10-20 minute wait, and you're like, oh, well, I don't want to waste my FastPass on this. Get out your My Disney Experience app, go to it and see if you can find another ride that you want to use your FastPass for, and then change your FastPass. So you end up waiting in line for Tower of Terror in the standby line since it's shorter, and picking a FastPass for another ride that has a longer line. So always check the My Disney Experience app and the FastPass lines just to see what the wait times are and if you want to switch your FastPasses around depending on how long the lines are and the FastPass availability. Number 4, if you're going to the parks to do a lot of souvenir shopping and you don't want to carry that stuff around, while you're in the shops you can actually ask for a package pickup at the front of the park. This means that all day long you don't have to be carrying your big bags of souvenirs around. You can actually wait till the end of the day or when you're done at that park and you can pick them up at the front of the park at package pickup. They'll have your name on them and everything will be ready to go. So you don't have to lug everything around all day. Also with this, if you're actually staying on Disney property, you can have them send your souvenirs back to your hotel for you, so you don't even have to pick them up at the front of the park. They just send them off to your hotel and they're there waiting for you to pick up when you get there, which is super convenient and awesome. My 5th tip is a little bit funny. This isn't a normal tip that you would probably hear, but if you're switching parks during the day and for some reason you're going between Epcot and Hollywood Studios or from Hollywood Studios to Epcot, instead of driving or taking maybe the Disney transportation, there's actually a walking path that you can take between Hollywood Studios and Epcot. It goes through, if I remember correctly, the Yacht and Beach Club, the Boardwalk, and the Swan and Dolphin. It's about a 30-minute walk, but sometimes this can actually be faster than taking the bus from either park to the other. They also have a boat that goes from Hollywood Studios to Epcot you can ride, and it stops at all the hotels along the way. It is a really cool boat ride. I actually loved taking it. It was just kind of relaxing and it was a fun sightseeing, you know, experience on your way from one park to the other. But I would definitely recommend walking. It's a really beautiful walk and you get to see some of Disney that you might not have seen before. Oh, and the best part about that is if you're walking from Disney's Hollywood Studios to Epcot, like the entrance to Epcot is actually in the at the International Gateway. So you don't walk in at the front of the park, you walk in by the countries, and that wait to get in is so much smoother, it's so much faster because there's not as many people coming in that way, so you get in the park super fast and you get in by the countries if that's what you're going to see. You don't have to walk all the way across the park to be there. And number 6 tip is about your kids, if you have kids. So if you're traveling with small kids and, you know, Disney's crowded. There's a lot of things going on at Disney. There's parades, there's dancing, there's dance parties, there's just a lot going on, and there are tons and tons of people there every single day. If you have small kids, you know, and for some reason you get separated, which, you know, can happen with so many people around, at the beginning of the day or at the beginning of your trip, go up to a cast member. It can be any type of cast member, but they just will have that Walt Disney World name tag on, or Walt Disneyland, wherever you're going, Walt Disney name tag on, with their name on it. And you can introduce the kid to the cast member. The cast member would be more than happy to talk to them, I'm sure. But let them know that if they ever get separated from you or whoever's with them watching them, they can go up to anybody with that cast member name tag on, and that cast member will help them find their parents. So that's just kind of a nice reference about they can look for that name tag. They'll know what it looks like, and they'll know that anybody wearing that name tag can help them find you and get you guys reunited. I have known actually a lot of parents that have done this, and it worked out really well. You know, the kids knew that if they ever needed anything and their parents weren't there, that a safe, reliable person to talk to was somebody with that name tag on. My number 7 tip is about little kids meeting the characters. If you're a little bit unsure about how your kids are going to respond to meeting the characters, or maybe they're a little bit scared and they've never met any characters before, my tip would be to let them meet characters first who are a little bit more cuddly and sweet. So like Minnie and Mickey and Pooh Bear. If they meet them first, they're going to get a better feel for the characters, and then maybe you can introduce them to people like Chip and Dale, Donald Duck, even Stitch. Stitch is a little rambunctious, you know, so sometimes if maybe that's the first person that they meet, they might get a little bit scared. So just kind of start with the more cuddly, loving characters, and then maybe go on to the ones that are a little bit more funny and playful, and they might have warmed up by then to meet them. My 8th tip is about raining in Florida. It could be the nicest, sunniest day outside, 80, 90 degrees outside, look beautiful, and 2 o'clock rolls around, and the clouds have rolled in, and it looks like it's gonna downpour. So what I'm trying to say is always bring a raincoat or a poncho with you to Disney World. I would recommend actually bringing a poncho in the park with you so that you don't have to buy one while you're there. They're a lot cheaper outside of the park, or just bring your own raincoat in. 9th tip is about parades. There are many parades at Disney, especially the Magic Kingdom. I actually think that's the only park currently that has a parade. But is it? Anyway, if you're going to some of the parks for multiple days, so you're going to Magic Kingdom for 2 days, and you've already seen all the parades on the first day, use that time when people are in the parades to just go and ride rides that you might not have ridden otherwise, because normally the lines are shorter and people are gathered in that center part of the park to watch the parade, while everything on the outskirts is kind of abandoned a little bit. My number 10 tip is about strollers. There are, I don't even have a number for this, but there are so many strollers, ECVs, in Disney every single day. So if you can find a ribbon, some sort of marker to put on your stroller to help you find it easier and faster, it's going to help you out so much. Working in attractions or really anywhere in the park, a lot of times we as cast members would have to move the strollers to keep them out of walkways for safety concerns. So your stroller might be moved, you know, 5-10 feet, and you go back to look for it and you're freaking out because you don't know where it is. It's normally moved about 5 or 10 feet to either side of where it was before, but just put a ribbon on it or something like that just as a marker. Especially if you're renting a stroller from Disney, they all look the same, they'll have your name on it, but if you just tie a ribbon or something to it, it's going to help you find that stroller a lot faster. Number 11, Disney actually posts beforehand which rides are going to be down for maintenance or refurbishment. So if your kid is really excited about, so currently, Soaring is closed in Epcot right now. Check the list on Disney's website to see which rides are going to be refurbished or, you know, they're going to be closed down while you're there, because the worst thing you want to do is get your kid or get yourself really, really worked up about wanting to ride a ride and then getting there and it being closed for refurbishment. So make sure you do check the website beforehand. That way you'll know going into it, you know, Soarin's closed. I'm not going to get to ride that, so you can plan around it. Whereas you getting there and then you realizing it's closed and you being really bummed out. And always remember that Disney is refurbishing because it's trying to make things better and more efficient for its guests. My 12th tip is about food and ordering your food. Now, if you're trying to save, a few dollars here and there, and you're wanting, to get a meal somewhere at a quick service food place or something, and you don't want to pay for the fries or the side or the chips or whatever comes with the meal, you don't have to. They don't necessarily advertise that you can just get the hamburger or just get the chicken nuggets, but most of the time, if you just ask for chicken nuggets, you don't have to get the side, or you don't even have to get the chicken nuggets, you can just get the fries. You just have to ask your cashier when you're going up there, and this way you don't have to buy the whole meal together. If you don't want it, you can just ask for the burger, the chicken, or the fries, or whatever it is that you might like. You don't have to buy that whole meal together if you're trying to save money. My 13th tip is about shows and performances. Now, things such as Fantasmic at Disney's Hollywood Studios, and any of the performances fill up really fast. So if you're trying to go to Fantasmic or any kind of performance or show, get there 45 minutes to an hour early. Especially for Fantasmic at Disney's Hollywood Studio, I would get there 45 minutes, but more like an hour early. Seats fill up really fast, and it's just better to be there than to miss the show. People get really upset. They'll go there and they're trying to rush there 5 minutes before the show, but it's been closed or filled to capacity, 15, 20 minutes before the show starts, and they don't know that till they get over there. My 14th tip is about riding the tram in from Hollywood Studios. I worked at Hollywood Studios during my college program, and I will never forget watching people packed trams come in from the parking lot in Hollywood Studios. By all means, if you need to use the tram in Hollywood Studios to get in, go for it. But if you are, walking, if you just want to walk in the park, it is going to be so much of a time saver to just walk from anywhere in Disney's Hollywood Studios parking lot to the front gate before the tram even gets there. It is the smallest parking lot on Disney property, and you can get to the front of the park, get your bag checked, get into the park normally before the tram has even left where the parking is. Now, I would never say the same thing for Epcot, Magic Kingdom, or Animal Kingdom. Those are bigger parking lots. It's possible that you can walk there faster, but 100% chance normally in Disney's Hollywood Studios that you can walk into the park instead of taking the tram faster than you can just take the tram in. But as I said, if you need to take the tram, go for it. They're very convenient and they're there for you. 15th and final tip is if you have any questions in the park whatsoever, directions, bathroom, food, shopping, anything, don't be afraid to go up and ask a cast member. That's what they're there for. That's their job, is to help you and answer your question. If they don't know or they aren't sure about something, they can get somebody to answer your question for you. Just never be afraid to go up and ask. They're going to help you the best that they possibly can and try to make it the best experience for you, and try to make your time as magical as it can be. So I hope you guys enjoyed these tips. By no means are they probably the best tips or the most important tips or, the rules to live by in Disney. No. But are these the things that I think that are important and that I've found really helpful and useful? Yes. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and if you have any questions whatsoever, or if you want to leave a question below, I will be happy to answer and get back to you guys. I hope that you have a magical day, and I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.